welcome back. So today I wanted to do a full review and comparison and swatches and also a look with the new Natasha Denona Sunrise palette. I pretty much have most of the Natasha Denona eyeshadow palettes and I've done videos on I think all of them except for maybe one. And if you're interested in any of my Natasha Denona eyeshadows, I'll try and link maybe a playlist of eyeshadow palettes. I'll try and list the videos that I've done on them. I know that they are an investment and that's why a lot of people are always curious about the eyeshadow palettes. The thing that I love that she's been doing in her eyeshadow palettes is the back has these tiny little holes in them. So you can pop the eyeshadows out and they can be used if you have a larger, if you have these eyeshadow palettes, you buy them in the palette and if you want to pop them out and put them in a Z palette or switch things around, you have that capability by popping a little tool through the back and then you can pop the eyeshadow out. So they are magnetized where they can come out of the palette and that's always nice. She always has really nice packaging, palette, sturdy with a really big mirror, and the eyeshadows are incredible. This new palette is no exception. It's 15 brand new shades. There are a variety of different formulas. There are the iconic duochrome shades, the foiled shades, a buttery type of velvety matte shades, metallic textures, you have it all. This palette retails for $65. Now, a lot of her eyeshadow palettes retail for $120, something like that. I just want to show you there are smaller pans in this and compared to some of the other eyeshadow palettes. So this one is the Tropic palette. As you can see, the comparison, this new eyeshadow palette is smaller. You're getting more, the eyeshadow pans are much bigger in these eyeshadow palettes. Now I'll show you comparisons some of the others as they are in these. So as you can see, you're getting 15 eyeshadows in both, but the eyeshadows are much smaller in here. I think that was in a way to make the eyeshadow palettes a little bit more affordable. A lot of complaints were that it's too expensive, it's too expensive. Well, I think she listened to that, made the eyeshadow pans smaller, and made it so that it was a more affordable price. You're still getting to try 15 different shades, and they are 15 brand new shades, and so it's $65, which I think way more affordable. I'm really glad that there is this option for someone who is wanting to try this palette. Now, as you can see, the Sunrise palette is very nice and warm. I did do a full look with this palette, so if you're interested in seeing that, the look will be at the end of the video. I'm going to swatch them, and I did want to compare it because a lot of you guys asked me when I showed this on my Instagram to compare it to any type of like ColourPop palette that I have, so I do want to do a comparison. Now, if you have tried any Natasha Denona eyeshadows, you know the quality is there. So I really do recommend Natasha Denona formulas and eyeshadows. I've had a lot of luck with them. They pretty much do the blending on their own. I haven't been disappointed with very many palettes at all, and the only thing that disappoints me is usually like the color selection, if anything at all, not the formula. I've had very little issues with the formula of the eyeshadows. It's definitely like worth the money is what I'm trying to say. So that's why I'm really glad that the price point on this is a little bit better than some of the other palettes, and you still are getting that really nice mirror, and like I said, 15 different eyeshadows. So I know that there was a Sunset palette. Listen, I have all my Natasha palettes here to show you guys. So there is a Sunset palette, which is a really beautiful palette. Very nice with the yellow, which is very similar. There's a whole lot more bronzes and browns in this. So I want to show you the palettes next to each other. So that's the Sunset and this is the Sunrise. So they are different. This one, like I said, has a few more like chocolatey browns. It's not the same. There is that sort of pink color in the yellow, but that's really the only like major similarities between the two palettes, with the exception of this just is a lot more warmth with the burgundies, and this has this chocolatey brown shade. So you're getting a few more cooler tone shades in here, and the price point on this was, I think, $135. I may be wrong, off by a little bit, but I know it was over $120. So this is the Lila palette, and I wanted to show you guys that. That's not comparison, but it's just, like I said, I have all of them. This one is one of the newest ones, and I think the one that I haven't done a video on, this is a lot more cool, like cool tones and just very everyday neutral shades. This is the Biba palette, or Biba. I love this one. Then we have the Safari palette, so all matte. And then we have the Golds palette, which is just, this is a beautiful palette, but not similar to the Sunrise. So I did pull this palette, the Cute AF one from ColourPop. This did have some very similar shades in it that I did just want to show you as another option, because I was asked to sort of show an option or a comparison. This has that yellow, some burgundies. This was the closest thing that I could find personally in my collection to show. Let me show them next to each other, really. The closest comparison that I could find. Like I said though, I just think the Natasha Denona eyeshadows are just such quality. This 15 pan palette, it's just, it's so beautiful. I love this color selection because you do have these like purples and burgundies, and then you have these sort of yellow mustardy, almost like a mac and cheese type color, and then the oranges, and then the golds and the shimmers over here. Okay, first we have this shade right here, which is called Poppy. And then we have this citrine color, and then we have Felix and Awakening. And then I'm gonna get that little last one there, and then I got the last one, Laurel, right there. And so there are those 5 right there. Let me swatch them on my hand. There they are. They are just so pigmented and beautiful. I'm just, like I said, I'm so impressed by the formulas of Natasha Denona eyeshadows. They really do have such a buttery formula, and like I said, they don't feel hard. If anything, I would say that they have a little bit more kick up, but I don't find that they have too much fallout. So I kind of tap the brush off, and like that middle yellow shade, it just blended so beautifully on the eyes and with very little effort at all. Okay, now we are going to this middle row. We have Aster over here, which is like this really pretty purpley type shade with a shift. We have Glory, which is like this reddish pink magenta. We have Azalea, which is a pretty bronze shade. We have Morgan, which is this really pretty matte peach. And then we have Agate, really pretty shimmery golden shade. There are those 5 shades right there. This purple shade is so beautiful. I mean, as you can see, these shades are just so pigmented. Okay, last row right here, we have the shade Clove. Then we have Carnelian. Then we have Jasper, Morning, and this last one is Day Spring, which is a really pretty bronze shade. There are all those warm, beautiful shades. Okay, there are those 5 shades, the last 5 shades in the palette. This is one of my favorite palettes that she's come out with. I'm just so excited about the colors. If you are a warm lover, I think you're really gonna love this. If you already own the Sunset palette, I do believe that they are different enough to warrant both. I do want to swatch some of the similar colors in the Sunset palette to some of the shades in here so that you guys can see that they are different. So I'm gonna swatch this red shade. This is from the Sunset palette, and then I'm going to swatch it next to the shade that's the most similar in this palette, which is that Glory shade. And as you can see, the one in the Sunset palette is just more, this one in the pink is the Sunrise, and the other one is the Sunset. So there's just really no comparison. They are different tones. Let me swatch the, let's see, I'm gonna put them next to each other like this so you can see. I'm gonna do the yellow. So there's 2 sort of yellow shades in the Sunrise palette, and they almost look like, one of them's like macaroni and cheese like. And then there is this yellow shade, which is like a brighter canary yellow. The only shade that is similar are the two brighter type yellows. This one is from the sunset and these two are from the sunrise. So these two yellows are very, very similar. That's really the only overlapping shades that I can see. Let me get one more. I see a bronze that might be very similar. Let me go ahead and swatch that. I took this bronze right here and then this bronze right here. Those are the two, and those are pretty similar of bronzes. Besides that, the rest of the palette, I don't think there are any comparisons. They are quite different. Hopefully you guys enjoyed seeing some swatches and some comparisons and it helped you. If you're interested in seeing the palette on the eyes, I did this look, and it's just really an eye look, so the rest of the makeup that I'm wearing on my face will be in the description box below, so go ahead and check that. My earrings are from Amazon. I'll try and link them. My jacket is from American Eagle. And yeah, I think that's it. This is just like a workout tank top from Target, because to be honest with you, I worked out and so I just threw this jacket on so I could film the video. But anyway, that's it, and let's go ahead and get into the look. Okay, let's start into the look. I'm going to start with I think I'm going to use this citrine color, this yellow up here. It's like a matte yellow. A lot of powder kicks up, but I'm hoping that this is like a nice and pigmented shade. So I want to do something where it's like kind of sandwiched between two colors. So I'm going to start with this in the inner and on the outer. And then we're going to put a pop of something somewhere along the line in the center. So let's just go ahead and start with that, and then I'm gonna dip down into and sort of layer up with this shade down here, Carnelian. It's a little bit more of like a mustard, where that's like a yellow and this has like a little bit more mustardy, but it looks like those two shades pair really, really nicely with each other. The thing I've always loved about Natasha Denona eyeshadows is that I feel like they just blend out like an absolute dream with very little effort, because they're so pigmented and buttery and just really creamy. There is a little bit of fallout with them, with these shades. There's a little bit of fallout under my eyes, but I wouldn't say it's too bad, and that's why I always decide to do my face makeup last. All right, now I'm going to go in with the shade, I think I'm gonna use Jasper. I'm gonna take this same brush. This is more of like a really orangey, deeper brown shade. So since this is a sunrise palette, we're kind of just gonna use all these little sunrise colors. And just again, usually I only keep these darker colors on the outside, but we're gonna kind of put them all over outer here, inner and outer. And then with that yellow shade peeking up, it's very much like a sunrise. Wow, that's very orange and super pigmented and fun. I love this so far. I'm really excited. I'm going to go into the shade Clove, which is this deeper sort of burgundy shade right here. Again, I'm still using that same brush, just sort of building these shades upon each other, lightest to darkest. And again, I'm just gonna tap that on the inner and outer, stamping it first and then kind of maneuvering it, because I don't want to lose the orange and the yellow fade. I really like the way that that sort of looks on the eye, and I want to stick to it. So I'm just going to try and maintain that as much as possible. Okay, there's a couple ways you can go. I thought I was going to do more of a purple look, but then when I popped on these earrings, I was like, you know what? I think I might do a really warm look. There are some of these shimmer shades, and I'm just trying to decide which one I kind of want to use. We have this one called Agate, which is a very nice, like, gold, I would say typical goldeny shade. We have Day Spring, which is more of a bronze that would be in the center. And then we have Laurel, which is a little bit more of a peachy sort of color. And then we have a shade Awakening, which would be a really beautiful color, but it's more of a like pinky, has like a pink sort of shift to it. So I'm trying to decide even if that Awakening color all over the lid would be really pretty. I think I might do the Awakening one and with the pop of the lighter gold. So I'm going to use my finger into this Awakening shade right here, and I'm going to just tap that. And this almost has like a little bit of a pink hue to it. Oh yeah, I actually like that, as opposed to doing more of a yellow. And then I'm going to get it a little bit wet to give it that extra foil. That's what I love about Natasha Denona eyeshadows, is you can get a really nice foiled look. So tap that on with a little bit of a wet brush. Then I'm going to go back in and touch up the outer corner. A little bit of the Clove shade again, the deeper burgundy. Just really kind of touch that up. Okay, I'm going to put eyeliner on, black eyeliner. I'm going to curl my lashes, and I'm going to apply the rest of my face makeup, and then we'll come back and finish the lower lash line. I finished up the rest of my face. I popped on some lashes. I'm going to use this nude liner. I will list like my lip color, my bronzer, my blush in the description. I want to go in with the nude because this is a very like bold in your face look. So like using a nude helps that. So I'm going to take this shade Morgan. It's like a peachy, a really nice peachy shade in the palette. And I'm going to go ahead and run that under my lash line. This is a really nice transition color as well. Really pretty peachy color. And then I'm going to use this shade Poppy, which is like this shimmery burgundy. And I'm going to put that on the more outer corners of my lash line. Okay, and then I'm going to put a little bit of bottom lash mascara on, and then we will be finished up with the look. Okay, so I quickly added a little bit of this Agate shade right here. I just added it to the inner corner and then up on the brow bone. I'll quickly say my lip color because I know I'll probably forget. It is the color Pink Fetish, and then I just topped it with a little bit of Pat McGrath's gloss in Peach Perversion just in the center. So that's what's on my lips. I cannot wait to play around with this more purpley shade in here. It's kind of like the Token Purple shade. It's really beautiful. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you guys enjoyed seeing swatches, a look, comparisons, and just information about the palette. Leave your comments down below, and I will leave a link if you're interested in this palette and checking it out. I will see you all in the next video. Mwah.